Hey guys, I'm Callie. So I have no idea what I'm doing here today, but all of my friends have thought that I need to start a YouTube channel, and what's better than quarantine to get us started over here? So today I'm just gonna do a super basic look just to see how things go, and then if it's great, then we'll keep doing some more complicated stuff. If not, then we'll kind of go from there. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and grab a snack, and let's get started. So to get started, I always start on my eyes, just because if there's fallout on my eyes, then I don't like to wipe it off of my face when I already have my entire face done. So I always start off with some type of concealer. Today I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Light Peach. And make sure you have like some type of little mirror or something. I'm just going to use mine out of my Ciate London palette. And just to prime the lids. You can also use primer, but I'm kind of cheap and I just use concealer. You use what you have. So I like to use my finger just to spread it out all over my lid. And this does cancel out any like veins or darkness that you have to your lids that you don't really want. So then I like to set, and so I'm going to use my AOA Perfect Setting Powder. This is just in translucent, and I'm just going to use one of my concealer brushes. This is out of my BH Cosmetics little kit that I have. And so I just like to set my lids. Okay, so it kind of looks really ghostly, to be honest. But like I said, we're gonna do something like super neutral today. So I'm gonna go into my Anastasia Soft Glam palette, and I'm gonna take the color burnt orange, and I'm just gonna buff that in my crease with a Wet n Wild blending brush. So I kind of just, oh, there's some blue on there. That's real cute. Okay, I'm gonna use a different brush. I'm gonna use my BH blending brush that came with the kit. So I don't do this perfectly at all. I kind of just make it so that it's just like in the crease. I kind of just do it like all over the lid, especially because we're going with a neutral look today. So I just buff it all over. It doesn't matter if it's perfect at all, because then I'm going to go in with a darker color. I'm going to go in with both Rustic and Cypress Umber in the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I'm just going to like literally tap into both. And then I'm just going to put that on the outer crease of my lid, just so that there's like a little bit of darkness on the outside. So one of my eyes always looks better than the other. Like, it just always happens no matter what. So doesn't really like have to be perfect, because I'm gonna go in, I think I'm gonna do like a matte inside. So like, as you can see, they're definitely not perfect at all, but once I'm gonna go in with the matte shade, then I'm gonna blend it all out afterwards. So I'm gonna go in my So Jaded Kathleen Lights palette, and then I'm gonna I usually just use my finger, and I'm gonna go in the shade My Precious, and I'm just gonna apply that on the inner portion of my lid, just so it gives it like that matte, it's almost like a cream shade. I'm gonna do that on both sides. So I know it's super bad to be pulling on the corners of your eyes, but it's such a bad habit of mine, because I think the shadows go on so much better. So as you can see, it kind of looks it looks pretty bad right now, but you just kind of have to blend out the shades so then it doesn't look like it's super like choppy. Okay, so you can kind of see on the inside, like there's on my right, your left, there's like, I pulled it too far in, so I usually just like to take a little bit of that like inner shade and I just kind of go upwards with it. You can also take a concealer brush and like with a little bit of that extra concealer, you can like go over it. But as you can see, it's like super like dark on the outside, so I'm gonna take a little bit more of that chocolate color and go on this eye, and it's lighter on this side than it was the other side. So now you just need to go back and blend because you don't want it to look super choppy at all. And again, guys, this is like my first video, so, you know, constructive criticism in the comments, please. So after I'm done with the shadow, I think that's like all I'm gonna do today. I think that looks pretty okay. I am gonna go in with some winged liner. I'm gonna use my It Cosmetics Superhero Liner. I like pen liners a lot better. I used to be really bad at winged liner, but I've gotten better. So okay, so it's definitely not perfect at all, but this side always comes out better than this side. I have no idea why. Okay, so winged liner definitely isn't looking the best, but I am a stickler for falsies, so we're gonna go in with some falsies, but first I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Damn Girl mascara, which honestly, guys, I am so not a high-end makeup person. I have like that Ipsy glam bag like every month, and so that's where I get most of these. And my Anastasia palette, that was from when I had a gift card to Sephora, and that was literally my first time I ever walked into Sephora. So I just put on like a light coat. I used to be big on so much mascara until I found falsies. So I'm gonna tightline my upper waterline because you want to make sure that there's no gap in between your falsies and your actual like lashes, because then it looks like you have a gap. So I'm gonna go in with the Santee Ultra Soft eyeliner in the shade 07 Black. This looks so weird to do on camera, but so you're just gonna want to lightly tightline. So then you can't really see it, but that's because it's on your top waterline. So now I'm just gonna go in and start my face. I like to wait for my eyeliner to totally like matte down and like dry before I put on any falsies. So I usually go onto my face. So for primer, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I tend to have like super dry skin like right around my nose, especially now because it's like summertime. But I just use one pump, and then I usually try and put this right around my nose and in my T-zone, just because that's where I have like the most pores. And then I just kind of spread it out to the face, the rest of my face, because it always like can help any of the other parts of your face. And I am a big primer water person. So I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Cucumber Prime Set and Refresh Water. And I'm going to use this right now, and I'm going to use it after I finish my makeup. So usually I try and let that set for about 30 seconds before I go in with any type of foundation. So two of my all-time favorite foundations are the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in the dewy one in the shade Soft Ivory, but I've gotten a lot more color on my skin now than I was in the winter, so I'm going to use a little bit of my ColourPop No Filter foundation in the shade Light 50. I'm just gonna kind of mix the two because I know this one's like too dark for me right now, but I know that this one is too light for me right now. So I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. It's my all-time favorite sponge. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hands of both, and I'm gonna mix the two on the back of my hand. I'm not gonna go in with too much foundation today just because I like the way that my skin looks without any like foundation on right now. So I tend to just like stripe it all over my face. Again, like I said, I'm not gonna go in with too much. You just kind of like stripe it around I'm just gonna stripe it around my face. And then I'm gonna go in with my sponge, and I'm just gonna blend it out. It's always like hard to blend around my nose just because that is where I get the most dry. So I tend to not try to cake the foundation on over there and put on too much around that area. So once that's blended out, I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm going to go in again with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Light Peach. And so I just go and I just put a little triangle looking thing underneath my eyes. And then I do a little stripe down my nose and right next to my mouth. I know that's super extra, but I tend to take the concealer and spread it all over to the high points of my face once I'm done. So I usually try to blend out like my nose and around my mouth first. Then I take the pointed end and just go in and go under my eyes. And I really like this concealer because it really cancels out anything that you have under your eyes, and it doesn't settle into all your fine lines that are underneath your eyes. So once that is like, that looks really good. So once that's all set, then I'm going to take the AOA Studio Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Translucent again. And I'm just going to press that underneath my eyes. And really set that concealer in. Then I'm going to take a brush. This is one I got in my Ipsy bag. I have no idea where, like, what it is, but then I'm just gonna set the rest of my face. I know this is super extra, but I really feel like setting your makeup is such an important step, or else everything's just gonna look cakey on your skin. So once I'm done with the powder, I'm gonna go in with bronzer. So bronzer and face makeup is absolutely not my forte. I'd much rather do my eyes. But I'm gonna go in with the Nomad Cosmetics bronzer, or Kiss of Sun bronze and contour powder in Manly Beach. And I'm just gonna take the same brush that I was just using for the powder, and I'm just gonna bronze my face. I do not contour. I have tried so hard to learn how to contour, but that is not my thing. I also do it along my hairline and kind of like down my neck because I don't like putting foundation on my neck. So to make it all blend in, I tend to use I tend to use it there. I do, however, like to put a little bit on my nose. So I do take like a flat little brush that came in my BH Cosmetics brush kit, and I like to bring it down my nose slightly and right on the tip. Just, I do not like my nose, so I always try to contour my nose, and honestly most of the time it comes out really bad, but you know, we're trying over here. It's a work in progress. So my all-time favorite blush is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Keep It Peachy. I feel like it's just the perfect like orangey type of blush, and it just, like, with my skin tone, I am so fair, guys, that I think this like actually looks really good. So I tend to just put it on my brush and always tap off the excess, and I try to brush it upwards to give me that light wash of color so I don't look like a clown. And I like a little bit on the tip of my nose. I don't know why. Some of you guys really don't like that, but I do. So you can see that there's like a super light wash of color on both sides of my face. And then sometimes I always think it like looks really splotchy, so I try and go in with like my sponge that has some excess product on it, and I try to like blend it so it all blends in with like my entire face. And then highlighter. I am obsessed with highlighter. So I'm gonna go in with my Ofra Madison Miller highlighter in Moondance. This is like blinding. This is literally my favorite. So I just go right above where I put the blush, and I do go over here to my temple and just kind of almost make like a backwards C, I guess. So I put a lot of highlighter on, and then I go down my nose and I do right where my cupid's bow is, and with any extra I like to do my chin. I just think it kind of like highlights the face. We are gonna come back to this highlighter in a minute, but right now I'm gonna do eyeshadow on my under eye. So I'm gonna go back into my Anastasia Soft Glam palette, and I think I'm gonna use the shade Rustic and Burnt Orange, and I am just gonna go right underneath my eye. And I want this to look super just natural because I don't want it to go, I don't want to make it look like I have a black eye. So I just do the tiniest little bit just to make it look like I do have it on. So after I'm done with that, I am going to take, I have this like super domed like pencil brush, and I'm gonna go back into the Ofra highlighter, and I'm gonna highlight the inner corner of my eye. So I like a lot of inner corner highlight. I really don't know why, but I think that looks, it's like a look, at least for me. And then I always like to highlight my brow bone. Don't mind my brows, they really need to be done, but I like to highlight right underneath just to give it that little bit of a glow, especially with like a matte look like this. I think that looks really good. And then next I'm going to go in with my falsies. So my grandma actually got me this box of 50 eyelashes, and if you know me, you know that I love huge lashes. But with a look like today, don't go with huge lashes. It just, at least on my face, it's not gonna look good. So I think I'm going to, I think I'm gonna go in with the lashes, with these lashes. They're super like natural looking. And so I have two favorite lash glues. I have the Kish Lash Adhesive and the AOA Super Strip Lash Adhesive. I really like the Kiss one, but since we're at home, I'm just going to use the AOA Studio one because I'm not really particularly looking for them to like stay on like a lot. This will stay a lot, but you have to, once you put the lashes on, you need to like stick glue like on the inner corner just to make sure that it doesn't lift. So I usually like to use this one while I'm at home. So I am gonna pop these on, and then I will be right back, guys. Okay guys, so lashes are on. I actually think they actually look pretty good with this look. So now that my lashes are on, I'm gonna go on to waterline eyeliner. So this is like my favorite brown liner. It's from Lancome. I don't know, got it in another Ipsy bag, but I think it's like the perfect like brown for underneath the eyes. So I'm just gonna go and line my waterline. Ooh. And this is what happens. I have a lash lifting already. We love that. So let's hope that sticks. It's one thing I hate about falsies is when they lift. Okay, so sometimes on like the inner inside, you need to go back and add in a little bit of eyeliner to blend in where like the end of the falsies is and like your eyeliner. So I kind of just like, I'll take brown, black, doesn't really matter, just so it looks like they're all together. And then for lower lash mascara, I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. I just like this one because I like the rounded brush on the end of it, just because I think that it's like perfect for getting in on like the bottom lashes. And I think my bottom lashes are so much better than my top lashes, especially since I started wearing falsies. So I can always like base mascara off of that. So I like going in with that. And as many of you know, I dyed my hair, and so you can see all the roots coming in. So now I have very dark hair, and usually my hair is very, very light. So I tend to like to go in with some, I don't have brow gel because I hate doing my brows. I don't do them. I think it looks really bad on me. So, but since my hair is so dark and my brows are so light, I like to just go in with this old mascara that I have, because I know that having mascaras for like longer than like a 3-month period is like really bad for your eyes. So I take this really old one and I just go over my brows just so it gives them a little bit of darkness. And then, oh, that's really cute. I have foundation on my lips. That's really not cute. So then for lips, I do not have the lips for any type of lipstick, but I really like this one from L'Oreal. It's like their 601 Nude Ballet. I think it's just a cute like nude color, and I just go in with like a little bit because I don't need any liner or anything. So then that's it for my lips. And then to finish it off, I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Cucumber Water, and I'm just gonna, I just sprayed my face, and usually I wait like 30 seconds and then just make sure none of my lashes are popping off anymore. So what does this one look like? Okay, now you don't see like a lump in it. Okay, so that's this super basic makeup video. I'm sure that I'll be back with more if this doesn't turn out to be a total fail when I go back and watch the whole video. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.